Okay. So today we are going to do three things. Um, so two of them I will ask you guys to write the code, and I will explain to you why I need you to write this code. Um, all things here. So so when we do these three things, hopefully this will get us into um understanding more of the brute force. And the first thing, of course, so let's come back to look at this code. You remember last week, right? I asked you guys to go back to modify your code because I told you the code was not the most efficient one. The reason is that this competition for bronze contest, it's okay. Even if you write that code, you missed your task. But if you wanted to get into the golden level, then you will have to be more awareness of your algorithm. The more awareness of your algorithm. So you need to understand why. So let me share my screen, and then I will give you like 3 minutes to. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just zoom this a little bit. All right. Look at this code. Do you think this is good? Is there any problem in this code? So take 2 minutes to read this code. So for Stephanie, you will see this is how to read the file. You see it's read the whole file in. Okay. If you have an input file, you just read it in. Okay. So input file it will read the entire file. But if you use read a line, you will read it line by line. This is a Python code. I'm talking Python because I think most of the students they are not know Java. So that's why I'm talking about Python. But once you guys look at this code, do you think there's any problem in it? You can say that if there's any problem in it. I'll give you like a 2 minutes. Good. This is a whole statement, okay? This is a whole statement. And and this is the dictionary. Where's Evan or Evan? You called him his mom? That's okay. So you finish reading, right? You read the whole code, right? Does the code make sense to you? Okay. Do you see any problem in this code? Is this code efficient? I think this code is very efficient. Because it's not to the loop. So you are not going to look all the things. So that's a big that's what I want. But do you see that there is any problem? Oh, do you see this? Okay, let me ask you this. Here, this condition, is it a problem or not? So that means, okay, if it's more than a day, more than one delivery, if more than one delivery, then you go to do those calculation, right? It looks very, very good.
Um, if the number of days in the if the number of days like no, I don't think no, it's fine.
Yeah, so this, if it's more than one delivery, so you have two deliveries, this code looks very good, right? But okay, if you only have one delivery, and then it tells you you only need one PayPal. But if the delivery happens in the first day, if that delivery is like 10,000 PayPal delivered, it's you the call will not just eat one PayPal, right? It will eat more than that. If it's 10,000, if the days is more than 10,000, then it will eat all the deliveries. Does it make sense? Right? So you see one problem here, right? Is this a problem? Austin, is this a problem? Austin, Austin, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think this is a problem or not?
Yeah, kind of.
Evan, do you agree when you read this code? So if I deliver the first day I deliver 10,000 hair bills, and then I do not deliver anymore. The car will eat more than just one hair bill, right? That's a bigger thing. All right. So another thing, okay? Look at this one. Look at that one. Will that give you a trouble? Will it or not? Will this give you trouble when you read this code? Will that give you trouble? Okay. So when you read this code, right, this is a range minus 1. So if the length, let's say the length is 10, minus 1 is 9, right? So here will be day plus 1. Day plus 1. Okay, it already covered the last day. Already covered the last day. But did it really count this day as day 1? Because day 1, when you get to this one, that's the last day. So you got this delivery here. You got the delivery here. Or that last delivery. You get the last delivery here. Okay? But the day will loop in again. Okay? So loop into the last delivery. Loop into the last delivery. Will this still work? So when you look at this, do we see any problem here when you do this loop? This really count, the last delivery day and the end. That's the T. That's the number of T. Did they count that in? It does not count in, right? You set the last delivery as the end of the day and as the end of the time. You're not going to eat any more from that day on because you do not see the T in this calculation at all, right? You do not see the T. The last delivery may not happen on the last day, may not happen. So that's why you really did not count that in. You did not count that in, right? Make sense? Look, is this calculation correct or not? Does it count? Does it count the last delivery is not the last day? Yeah. So it missed something there, right? It does miss something, right? Okay. So I only get 2 submissions. Then I wanted to share the submission from Luke because I only get 2. So I wanted to look at tissue looks. Let me get back to my website. Then look, I want you to go through your submission, okay? Let's see. No. This is yours, right? Look. Or this is not yours. Let me get. Okay. Look, can you go through this? Below. Below. Yeah, you say Stephanie, you say this is another way to read the file. So you say what look at us is that read it line by line. So it needs to use the first number because that tells you how many. I mean, to use it line by line. Of course, use Python. You can also just use input. Input will yes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So this so if you, good is that and the good thing is that you have you feed the file, then it will be good. But it's a terminal. That means people just feed you in the data, type in. That's a terminal. So like what do we, so you use input to take it to do that. So this has a pointer there. So you can use input as well. You can use input. So input will just take whatever the user type in, and then you just type in more. Um, of course, I think when they did the test you, they may feed you a big data. So that may be a file, okay? So that we can put it away. You, I tell you all, you just need to write this down, write this down, because this will be the code you will need to use it again, even during the competition. So you can just copy, paste it, save it there. When you need it, just copy and paste and get it. And I really want you guys to write the code. The reason is that I had a class before for this, and there are like several very smart students. They think they do coding very, very well, but none of them really pass the bronze because they don't write enough code. They just think they're smart. They write the code, but they do not practice. They do not look at the problem, so they cannot go far. Same thing. You see, you are in this class. So if you persisted on something, you will, pass. A lot of people look initially very, very smart, very, very smart, like the smartest in the world, but they do not persist. They just do it for fun and go away. So that's why I really want you guys to like the program. You wanted to go to the competition, and even though you are very very smart on it, I really want you to sit down, write the code. Then when you get into the competition. So for this code, I think it's the most efficient one because it uses the range. The range is how many delivery days, so how many lines will come in. So he use the dictionary. It also used this one. So if one delivery is larger than the total days, that's a call has. You do not bother to look for anymore. Just break it. That's what I asked you guys to have in your code last week. I told you guys use this because you don't need to count it anymore. Because from that day on, the code will have enough able to it. So you just use that number. That's good enough, right? So look at that. Now look at that accounted for the total days there. So that's why it does not have that issue I just mentioned, because you do not count the last day. If your delivery is not the last day, then how can you count that? How can you count? How can you get the numbers from the last delivery to the end of the days? The end of the days, you don't have that number there. So this will help you. Okay. All right. So any question from the class? Any question? Austin, do you have any question?
No.
Eddie, you have any question?
No, not really.
So how about you, Irvin?
No.
Okay. So I do not have the whole class here, so I hope in the classroom you guys will understand it. If you do not, you should stop me here. So now I'm come to the slides. I want you guys to write a function. And this function, so let me put it here. So we talked about brute force last week. So let's get into it. To help us understand more about brute force, how can other people break into your account? So how many choices they need? So can we program an application to see how long and how many choices that a brute force application can break into your email account and read your email and read your email. So I want you to write the code. I really want you guys to write code today. So first, let's do a very simple scenario. So we first set the password rule. Let's say that the password is all numbers. We assume that the password is only like 4 digits. And the numbers are the total 10 numbers. So you can have many ways to write the program to break the password. The brute force algorithm is trying to exhaust all possible combinations. So once there is a match, your account is broken into. Okay? So it's easy to write it. But I want you guys to write the code is that. So I said this award winning because it was my previous class. I put this in the class, asked the student to write the code. I was who wrote it the first, finished the first. I will give an award, but I'm not going to do it here. So I just want you guys to really write something like this. So you can use Python. I do not want you guys to use Java because I know some of you may not know Java. So you just write a function, gives password. And this is the password I will give to you. Let's say 4444, right? But I want you to write the code. So this is the function. I will call your function. Your function will how many have that. So from the very beginning, or then when the function returns write something like this. Do you have any question on what I ask you to do? Print that password out, print out how many tries the application has done, and print out how long does it take. And why I need this because I want to keep this function, then we can try more and more. Then I will jump to another function, okay? Because I wanted to talk about this, and you will understand why in the future when we do other algorithms, and you will see what is the best, okay? What is the best? So just go ahead, write a function. The function will just guess your password. And right now, the elements is the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9. But the password is like only 4 numbers. So write a function, but in your function, you need to log it twice, and then you need to log the time. How long does it take, right? So you need to have those in your code. So that means when you start, you have a timer. When this ends, you have a timer. So you can compare how long does it take. Yes. Um, okay. The timer, you can just use like a date or use null. So Python timer, okay. Let's do this here. There are several ways, okay. You see, you can use a time, you input time, then you use time, get the timer, GM timer, right? That will be the time you can get. So you can also use time, and that will be the milliseconds, okay? We'll get to the milliseconds. And you just do it twice, right? And this is another way to do it. There are several ways. Okay, this when we say brute force, it is really trying to exhaust all the possibilities. So just do from 0 to the end of all the combination and try to find out if there's a match or not. So I need from you that you just say how many tries and how long does it take. You finish? Can you share the code to me? You cannot. Are you in Zoom, or you wanted to email to me, or to join the Zoom? Okay.这个谁在那个 waiting room 里面？哦，OK。So let me stop sharing. So can you share your? Can you can you share? Okay. So if you put like a, so what did you input? What's the password you input? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it takes 923 twice. So did you print out the choice?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to put output the choice. Right now you just print out the time or in within or guess for that. So in is 923, right? Um, it takes like a 0.79 milliseconds, right? Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you run it again? Given the password like it. Okay. Well, now let's look at the JSS code. So I wanted to point out two things here. Okay. So this is a good brute force solution. So it's only have four numbers. Four numbers. So that's use the loop to do that, and then you compare once it get to that, it is good. So, but two things I want you guys to be aware of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it. They of the same complexity or not. You think about if the password is complicated or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, and H are they at the same level or not? They should, right? Because of four numbers. That's the complex you can go. You only have four numbers. But do you see the difference? When JS use like 1, 2, 3, 4, it does not take a it only use like a 900 bricks, the bricks. And here, 88, It takes much longer, more than double the time to process, to break it, right? And the choice is 98 times. So that means if we write code like this, okay? So algorithm-wise, you see the same kind of complexity for the password, but a big difference on the processing. Why is the big difference? Because the way we write the code, right? You start from the small numbers, 0000, right? Going forward up to 9999. So that's what we do, right? So this way to do it, okay, it's a brute force, but it's not a evening handle of the number. It's not an evening handle of the number. So I was it's not a fair sometimes. And we will come to this topic, I think probably in session 2, when we talk about how do you want to improve your efficiency. And they are a very good way for us to do that. But if, right now for this one, you see if you could write it in this way, the same complexity of password it once takes much longer. So when you write your code to do the bronze problem, as I mentioned, it's not a problem. If you go to gold, sometimes you really spend a lot, right, to process it. So in the Python, okay, there's another way to do this. In the Python, there's a random function, right? There's a random function. So do you guys can try to write another function similar like this? Okay, another function to guess the password. So random, what you get is that the pool is that the let me let me share my screen again. Okay, the pool is that you have 10 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 9. So this is a function for the random, right? So random can use your choice. I forgot it's choice or something. So you can just put these in numbers, the 4 numbers together to see if it matches it or not. And if it matches, okay, you try that again. You rewrite your function, or you just write another function. Okay, guess random, something like that. Use the 10 numbers. Let me go to the Python random. Let me go there so you guys know what I meant. Python random. Okay, so choices, or sample. So you just tell them how many you wanted to get, right? This is random. If you input random, you say choices. Okay. Choice, you just select one. Okay, choice, you will just select one. Okay, so but if you use choices, you give it a number. So you only need a 4. Okay, this is this number give to it choices. The base is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, right? That's the list. And here you just choose 4, put them together. And then see if it matches the password that pass in. So this way you will see 8, 8, 8, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. They will not have that big difference when you try to break the password. Okay? Can you guys go ahead and write this? So I want you to keep both function. Okay, keep both function. And then you will try. You will if such a so when you do choices, right? My list will be the 10 numbers, 9, 0, 1, and then you just say pull 4 numbers out. Here is the control. You do not need to consider the weight because you wanted to make them even. Make them even. This time I needed someone from the Zoom to share the code. Okay, Eddie, Evan, and Austin, please write your code. I wanted to see if you can use random the password. And why I ask you guys to do this because this will be a very good point for us in the future to understand that when you try to solve a problem, you need to know, do not waste the time. If the number is very big, do not waste time. What is you know, you know, or you can use the samples as well. I think a sample will also do something like that. Samples can pretty much do the same thing. Okay. So that will you know. So Austin, Eddie, and Ivan, do you get what I ask you guys to do? And then why? Austin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys writing the code? So Jason, you finish your code? Not yet. They use random. So that's what I put here. Let me see on my code, on my slide. So I also, I think that for yourself to try. So if you added more stuff to your character pool, then the computer cannot break your password anymore because it's big enough. It takes like a month for the computer to come to to finish calculating. So that's why it's impossible. Make it impossible, right? So, but I think I have that here. So I say the algorithm we used did not solve the problem using a fair time, though the password complexity is the same. So we wanted to use random to solve this issue now. Random is a different brute force algorithm. It makes the guess fair to all possibilities. Can you code your solution using random module? So what I wrote here was the Java code. But I want you guys to use a random to do it. So random voices in four statements. Then you just put the choice that you got from the input. You guys learn yeah. Go ahead, right? And if anyone finish, can you share your code? These are four items. Just put those four items together. So Evan, did you finish your coding? Evan? If you think it's random, it's choice, you're not familiar with the you're not familiar with the choice. You put one, then you punctuate the next one. Choice, before choice, right? Of course, choices means that if you guys cannot finish the coding, then I will just make this like homework. You can substitute. But if anyone finishes or wanted to share about it, say step by step, and you talk about it. Say how many tries? One. How long? So I want you guys to try that. Originally, I wanted to do another long in the class, but looks like it's not how we don't have time. In the very beginning, so I want you guys to finish this coding. I need this coding and I want you guys to save it because I really wanted to. Let me just come back to the code. Okay. So you see, right before it is 4. Now I want you to add to 5 digits, right? And then I want you to say, all right, have the characters in it, the alphabetical characters in it. You will think, you will see how complex it is, how long does it take, and then why now they ask you to have a long password, and then it's hard for the computer to break into your account. So I really want you guys to have that function saved somewhere. Want you guys to try this, and then you will understand it, the significance when control choose from number, letters, and other characters, like special characters. So to make your password complicated. So anyone finish coding? Use random? Anyone finish coding? Okay, if you have not finished, if you have not finished, I will make this the homework. Use random. I will check your code, make sure your code is right. I just need random, okay? And do not need that brute force. Just use this random module code to break your email account. Okay. Does anyone finish it? I really want you guys to write code and you do the homework because it's a very good access. It's also give me an opportunity to know how well you are doing. And then I can decide if my class is too slow or too fast. Do I really help you or not? Do not be shy, even your code may not be perfect. So if I see a submission, I think, okay, I wanted to use this as an example, so we can do a review. I think that will help you and the class as well. So we all know that what problem we have in our code, what improvements we can make. Okay. All right. So Evan, you did not get a response from you, Eddie and Austin. Did you guys know what I asked you to do?
For the last one or this one?
For this one, use random.
Yeah,
And
I just
Yeah.
I
why you,
just finished.
you just you wanted to share?
Okay.
You wanted to run it? Okay, let me stop. So let share your code. Okay. Share your code. Let's take a look at it, see if it's correct or not. Or you put it in the same function. Okay, let me see. Always you only have one. You only get one number back, Austin. Okay, let me look at this. Oh, let me. That's good. Stop it there. Let me read your code more. Unused. So what is unused? Oh no, you do not need the for loop anymore. So Austin, so for your code here, you really do not need it. You don't need do not need the for loop. Okay. So unused. Let me see. So okay. So in the 9-7, unused is just put a 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma. Just put that, and then you save the for loop. You don't need the for loop because for loop is not needed here, and you have that. Then let me check random choice. Why you remove? Why do you remove? I don't think that this will work. Why do you do remove? What is the purpose of 19? Line 19. What is the purpose there?
So like there's like a list of all the possible choices.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yes, Jason.
Make the list necessary for every.
Yeah, so that's already, you already get all the combination in the for loop. Yes. So that's unnecessary, and that will greatly increase your time because you already get all the combination. You already get all the combination. Okay. So everyone know this code, right? You see this code? I really want you guys go back to write this function for me. Use random. You do not have to have this code from line 8 to line 12. You do not need it, okay? You don't need that, okay? Line, oh, I think I don't have battery. Okay, so go back to do your homework. Go back to do your homework and give me the function. You can guess the password. Then I want you to try use different numbers. See the twice at the time. See if it's almost even. There's no big difference there. To make it a fair guess. Okay. Next week, do we have class, Miss? Yeah, we have the class. Okay. We will have the class. I still want you guys to come into the classroom so we can discuss more. I can come on, I can walk to you to check your code. All right, let me stop here. Any question from the class? Any question?